Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and I came to the shocking conclusion that I actually never did a review on the T25/2. I could have sworn I did, and maybe I did. I don't know. I can't find it. Maybe I just labeled it wrong or something. I don't know. But anyways, we're gonna do a review of the T25/2, the American turreted TD. Now, I have to start by saying that this is a very lackluster kind of meh TD. In all honesty, it really has nothing going for it. Let's take a look at the stats. Oh, and you might think that I have no crew and yeah, servers flickering and all that. That's because I just bought my prototype and I've transferred my crew over. So yeah, I did have 100% crew with 6th Sense and Camouflage trained on most of them, and as you can see, the rest of the skills at 55%. So yeah, don't think that I don't have crew in it. So let's first off take a quick look at my servers record for it. And here we go, 55% victory ratio, killed a maximum of 7, 1.78 destruction ratio, 1.95 damage ratio, killed an average of 1.17 a game. Didn't spot a whole lot, but you know, it's a TD, so that's not really a shocker. And damage cost 1200. I think on a tier 7 TD with such a, in all honesty, shitty gun compared to everybody else, doing 1200 average damage a game is pretty damn good. So yeah, I do know what I'm talking about. And this is one of those weird ass tanks where I did pretty damn well in, I just didn't like it. It's like, gah! I didn't like this thing at all, but I did pretty damn good in it, so, Anyways, let's take a look at the stats. 850 hit points. You know what? Let's pull up some other tier 7 TDs. That one, and let's see, we don't have any there. Tier 7, 152, and that one. Start spreading them out a bit. Oh, actually, let's just move them over. Okay. French we already have, right? I think. Don't we? Yes. I'm lost. Tier 7, Jack Panther, and that one. So, one thing you're gonna find is that it will have the worst gun out of all of them. It's plain and simple. It has the shittiest gun. And for good measure, let's also pull up T25/2. T25 AT, excuse me. Let's just pull up the stats for this one as well. So, this is the control, I guess. Let's spread these out a bit so we can actually see them. Now keep in mind the gun stats are not going to be accurate, as well as the radio and that sort of stuff. Let's move this one out and move this over a little bit to create room. There we go. So 850 hit points, yeah. The British have massive amounts more, but that's, you know, the British thing. They have a lot of health. It's quite considerable, it's 400 more hit points, so, yeah. Anyways, the rest of the hit points smack in the middle, average between all of them, so there's nothing special about that. Speed limit 56, it's pretty good compared to all the other ones. I think it's actually one of the highest. Together with the T25/2, the T25 AT. I'm getting my numbers confused again. Yeah, need more coffee. Anyways, so it's reasonably fast with a decent engine in it. One word of advice though, when you get this thing stock, it is slow. Oh my god, this thing is slow. Without the engine upgrade, this thing is excessively slow, so keep that in mind. It's painful. Anyway, so yeah, the engine is pretty good. Speed is one of the fastest out of all of these. Probably reasonably on par with the German, although I think the Jack Panther can reach the top speed slightly easier, because I think it's slightly lighter. Although, no, they actually weigh the same. Okay, guess not. So it's one of the fastest TDs out there, and it's not bad. It takes a while to get up to top speed, but it's not bad once you get the tracks and the engine upgraded. I cannot stress that enough. Hull armor, well, it's gonna be one of the shittiest, probably 75. Well, of course, the German TDs without armor win in that category, but and it's on par with, pretty much on par with the Russian SU-152. So the whole armor is not great. It is slightly sloped, and if you're angled like this and they're shooting at you from like roughly the side, like that kind of angle, then you have a chance to bounce. And you do have a gun mantlet that's pretty thick, so there are some chances to bounce on this tank. It can happen. I have bounced shots on it, but don't expect it. So the one thing that most people don't have though is turret reverse. It's the only turreted tank destroyer at this level, this tier. So yeah, that is the major bonus to being in this thing. You can get into spots where normal TDs can't, and you can turn your turret around the corner and peek out and don't expose your entire tank, shoot and pull back, while still having your turrets in the right direction already. So you don't have to spend extra time maneuvering around a rock to, you know, get to peek out and shoot and all that. Combine that with reasonably decent depression on the gun, makes this tank pretty, how do I put it, capable of shooting from different spots. You know, it's sort of jack of all trades spot-wise where you can shoot from, while a fixed hull TD has a lot more issues with picking spots you can shoot from, especially with hard cover. You know, you have to get around it in order to shoot. Well, here you just technically have to drive forward, shoot, and pull back. So it does make shooting easier. Now the gun is where this thing is gonna be a little bit disappointing. Let's see if we can... This is something new. I think it's a bug. If I hit escape, I don't escape out of these windows anymore for some reason. I have to click the window. And there we go. You have to click it before escape will work. Okay. So let's take a look at the gun. And pull up the tech tree real quick. I'll show you a couple of the other guns. And I'm not going to pull all of them up. Like, I'm not going to pull up the SU-152 because it's a derp gun, you know, that's different. You can compare to 122mm, I guess, but I don't think it's necessary. I mean, let's just pull up a couple here. Let's do one more. Yeah, let's pull up the French. Here we go. We'll pull up both of these because I'm not 100% sure which one's the better gun to get. So, here we go. Here we have the gun that is on the AT7. Excuse me, this is not the final gun. I picked up the wrong one. My bad. Let's try that again. AT7. That gun. There we go. So, as you can see, the penetration on this gun is poor. 170 is by far the worst. I think the closest is 200, so that's 30 less penetration. For 240 damage, well, that's not too bad, but given the rate of fire, I mean, take a look. 7.79 versus 10 for almost identical damage. And if you look over here at the French, 212 penetration, 240 damage, same damage, rate of fire of 8.7 versus 7.9. So it's one of the lowest rates of fire for, especially compared to here. It's the same rate of fire as this one. That's a Jack Panther. But 200 pen, 320 damage versus 170 pen, 240 damage. Accuracy is worse as well. Aim time's the same. So aim time at 1.7 seconds is pretty good. You know, I can't deny that. But okay, there. So yeah, the gun is pretty bad, in all honesty. It's, I would say, the worst tier 7 TD, this thing, out of all of them. It really is. It's just a gun. The gun is just so poor compared to all the other tanks. This gun would be good at a tier 6, and, well, let's take a look. Oh wait, we do get an almost similar gun at tier 8, tier 6, excuse me, not tier 8. I mean, really? This is all you get for an upgrade over your Hellcat gun. I mean, this is the Hellcat. This is a tier 6 gun. Rate of fire goes slightly up. Penetration goes up by 10. Damage remains the same. Accuracy, you lose some. Yeah, that's right. You lose accuracy. It's like, what the hell were they thinking? In my opinion, this gun needs a buff. Either a rate of fire buff or a penetration buff. One or the other. It's not like I can't do well with it as is, but you bounce so many shots that on any other TD you would have just pinned, and that's really disappointing and annoying. But enough going on about this tank. Like I said, I've been doing pretty well with it, and it's time to show you some gameplay, so let's take a look. So, I think that's enough about the theory of how this tank is supposed to work, and let's change the camera there, and take a look at how it actually performs. So far we are, let's summarize sort of this tank. It is a reasonably mobile, as you can see, tank with a turret, a TD, excuse me, with a turret that has a pretty underwhelming gun and probably one of the worst guns in its tier. Doesn't mean that it's non-functional. It's not like it's a completely worthless gun, as you'll probably see in this game. But it does mean it's really not one of the better TDs, and probably tier for tier, the worst tier. The worst TD in this tier. Sort of. So, yeah. We are sitting back here with a fairly decent matchup. They get 2 ISs at the top, we get an AMX M445 and an IS, so both sides are pretty equally divided up with heavies and stuff, so it's not too bad. So, we just sit here in ambush. I mean, we are a TD. That's just what they, do. Now we roll back here, see if we can get a line. Miss. I can't see him, however. You don't see the outline because this is an 8.8 replay. Bit older replay. Doesn't matter though. Yep, and he gets taken out. Okay, yep, secondary tank up there. I just realized that the stuffies are fucked up again. These damn old replays don't work for shit. Markers. And that, and that, and for story to our team, we do the same. You can hear the voice cues if I hit anything, so we hit one person while we weren't looking. There we go. Now you can see him shooting at an IS and a KV2. Yeah, this is a turkey shoot. It's like I can't really miss here. If I miss one, I'll hit the other. So as you can see, when in this kind of tiering, I got the KV2 blind shot there. We knew he didn't move. It's a KV2. They don't move. Just waiting for my team to light up the next person. Oh, there he is. Nope, too late. Okay. So, yeah. This is not the best demonstration possibly for this tank, because this actually was a good game. And you have a lot of bad games in this thing. Oh, I can't see this BK, so we move up here. Still can't see him. There we go. Critical hit. And yeah, the accuracy is pretty poor. Enemy armor is damaged. There you go. We go in with that one. I'm penning a lot of my shots, and in normal games, you really don't pen this off. And I just got lucky as hell in this game. Because let's take a look here real quick. Penetration is only 170. At tier 7, 170 is not great. Most tanks, most TDs, with the exception of the HE shell obviously, but most normal AP TDs have about 200 at this level, so having 170 is pretty poor. So, we move up to a better position here and hopefully shoot some more people. If we can. But yeah, having a turret is a nice advantage, I have to say. You know, being able to sit somewhere in a bush and keep your binoculars and camera net active at all times is so nice. Ricochet. Okay, here we go. Ricocheted off the top of his turret at this angle. What the hell? We didn't even scratch them. Front plate bounced. And that's what I mean with this tank. The penetration is lacking. There we go. 3 bounces in a row. You get that a lot with this tank. It just bounces so freaking often. 170 pen, it's workable, but as a sniper, it's pretty bad. it's hard to pen a lot of heavies. Ah, that one went underneath him. Yeah, the accuracy isn't great. Yes, that is my Sixth Sense icon. Okay, we take him out. I have to say, we do have a good team here, so this is sort of a dream match for this tank, because I can just sit here unchecked and shoot the crap out of everyone. But the gun, if you can pen, you know, it's not too bad. Rear fire and all that, it's not too bad. But penetrating heavies, forget it. Most of the time you just won't.
Penetration.
I mean, like I said, we're really getting lucky with this matchup in this game and team. And there we go. Oh, waiting for the last one to die. He's getting pincered, so he's not gonna live for very long. Can we get him? Can we get him? Ah, dang it. Let's take a look at the stats. So, this tank, in conclusion, it's a very mediocre tank. You know, this was a damn good game for it, don't get me wrong, but the tank overall, with everything combined, the turret traverse, the lack of armor, the mobility, is okay, it's not bad, it's just not great. But the gun is the biggest letdown of this tank. The gun is just not great. But as you can see, in a good matchup, you can still do quite a bit with it. It's not like it's non-functional. It's workable, it's just not great. It's just shy of greatness, I guess. So, yeah, that was the T25/2. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.